So I truly believe that something inside of me had changed at that point. I had a couple stories I believe I've shared in the past. Just a family friend, their mom, which is considered almost a second mom to me, she passed away while I was in there. I was supposed to go see her. I never did because I just junkied out every time and didn't show up like I did every time. Really just hit me how selfish that I was this whole entire time and only cared about me. And so, I really felt that something had changed on the inside for me. And then when they said, roll it up, it's your time to go, I just remember we had to walk. It was about 3/4, half mile of a walk from the jail to the actual front gate in Manatee County Jail.
Now they take you by golf cart.
Yeah, you get the Cadillac, you get the golf cart of shame. I had the walk of shame. Quickly figuring out that I had no family, no friends, no money, no car, no job, no possessions really, and no one was coming to save me. What is up, YouTube family? We are back with another edition of our High on Jesus podcast, episode number 28. You are here today with Justin Time with Justin Hallis.
And Austyn with a Y.
It's good to see y'all. Thank you so much for coming, for joining us.
Yes.
And what's the title of our episode today?
It's going to be Helping Hands and Holy Plans.
Amen. I love it.
Because I'll take all the helping hands, and we definitely got holy plans planned for the gala this year.
Amen.
So.
We're going to talk about Hand Up to Victory, our nonprofit organization. Maybe for some of you, still unclear what we even do, where it came from, how it started. We are going to let you in on all that today.
Yes.
And so today is Monday, November 3rd. November, my friend.
So we are like 7 days till
It's fall crazy. Turkey's next.
So there's I think I saw a thing that said 7 Fridays or something till Christmas. Yeah. April.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend that always posts the update to how many Fridays are left until Christmas. But so Bonnie gets mad now right at this time because she says her favorite holiday gets skipped, and she always thinks it goes straight from Halloween to Christmas because you know that Walmart's already loaded with all the
Dollar Tree
the decorations.
Yes.
She's like, what about mine? So Bonnie loves Thanksgiving.
Yes.
What's your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving has always been one of my favorites.
Really?
Yes.
Growing
up, we lived way out in the boonies. So my great aunt, yes, my great aunt lived across the street. The man would always go hunting. Sometimes I would go. Oh yes,
no, the man went hunting
all day. Yeah,
for real? And that's what you ate on Thanksgiving?
No, not usually. Okay. They would clean the buck or whatever when they get home. But we would have turkeys. The women would be making the pies and all this stuff. We'd have my great grandmother's house here. We lived here. The whole compound thing. Goodness. 20 plus cousins.
It's real.
Yeah,
off grid.
We just prayed for the day that we were old enough to go hunting with everybody, Oh yes, riding 4-wheelers, rolling down hills. That was our Thanksgiving,
Get it?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I'd be a lot of place there, but
yeah. I remember when Bonnie got this thing last year. I can't believe it's already been a year. She was showing me this thing she ordered online, you put it on the table like this and it rotates the Lazy Susan. Did y'all use that last year?
No, it wasn't anything that she thought it was. She gets wang ganged, as I call it, because we got to say it though. She just happened again. Bonnie, you are the worst online shopper in the game. Every time that she buys something online, something goes wrong with it.
I thought that thing looked like the coolest thing.
For Crystal, it was a rinky-dink operation, okay? And when you put all the stuff on there, it was all wobbly and it was too heavy and the plates would fall off. They would get caught. And finally was like, Bonnie, put this away. This is not it. Let's just pass the dish. Just ask for the dish and pass it to him.
In theory, it was a great idea, though.
Sounded good. But it definitely wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Well, did the chicken feeder and water thing, those are working?
I guess. But I don't think she got the cheapest price on there. She just found the first one she found and pressed buy now. So it's either we're overpaying, or it's just the quality is horrible on it. I love my wife though.
I do too.
But life is good. We're moving into November. This is the week, right? This is the week of our gala. Yeah. So this is the last podcast.
Days.
Exactly.
T-6 days.
Sunday coming up is our Hand Up to Victory 8th annual fall gala fundraiser dinner. We are looking very forward to it. It is at Sunday night, Sunday, November 9th. It's at Oasis Church. Doors open around 5:15. We got an amazing silent auction. As soon as you walk in, you're going to see all of our silent auction items that the team has worked overtime to prepare and get there. We got some merch if you're interested in. Then you get to come into the main room. We're going to have a phenomenal dinner. Carrabba's is catering, people whose lives were completely changed through Hand Up to Victory and everything that we do with those wraparound services there. We always have a family member that speaks, so it's a mutual friend of ours. She's going to speak. Not only has her life changed, through the meetings and different things, but she's just heard her husband's life has completely done a 180, and she couldn't be prouder of him. And all of us are very proud of him. His name is Justin. And then we have a singer.
We have Melinda Drake.
Melinda Drake, who's the Academy Award winner. I don't know if she got one yet, but it's coming.
Oh yeah, and she's affiliated with Prodigal Daughters. They're all into recovery as well. So I'm excited for everyone to, if they haven't met her, to hear her beautiful voice.
Yeah, and her song is amazing. And then we have a special guest, Commissioner Jason Bearden. So awesome that we love getting support from those people out there that serve the public. We've had Sheriff Wells speak. We've had Mayor Gene Brown.
Yes.
A bunch of local people that just see what we do and, truly believe in us and the services that we're providing and making a long-lasting impact in Manatee and Sarasota counties.
I think my favorite part is all the volunteers that are coming this year. We've just had so much interest. I think my new feed has like 26, and we know things come up at the last minute, but to have these people, and instead of it being the other way around and having to chase them, like they are just so excited to participate and give back to an organization that changed their life.
Yes.
And I'm excited.
Yes. Well, so in addition, we got at least 20 volunteers there. And these are all people that we've helped through Hand Up to Victory, and now their life has changed, and now they're coming to give back and serve, and it's a great night. Yeah, I'm excited. She's crying already. We're not even there.
I know. I'm so excited, y'all.
So now we're on to the shoe news. As always, this week coming up, we have the first shoe is one that I think we already announced it in a prior video, so we're not even gonna talk about it because they keep pushing it back. But it is supposed to drop. It's the Jordan 11 Rare Air. It's right here. This is the one that's coming out. So that's dropping on November 5th, which is a Wednesday, which is an odd day for a shoe to drop. But I think we discussed this because we talked about the Rare Air series.
It's usually on Saturdays or something, right?
So for whatever reason, it got pushed back. It's coming out this Wednesday. So that's cool. You don't have to see it in hand and check it out. But definitely one of my favorites coming up. So this is the Jordan 12 Taxi. This is an OG. This is one that released originally back in the day. It's got the black outsole and it's got the white on top. It's got like kind of the yellow hint on the back, hence the name Taxi. And I don't know, some people might think it's a simple, but I'm an OG collector. I love the ones that Mike originally wore back in the day. And this is the first time it's come out in like 12 years. So it's been
since you've been sober.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the one I've been waiting for it to retro. Okay. It's finally here.
Happy soberversary to me.
That's right. So this one is coming out on Saturday, November 8th.
And when's your 12 years?
I celebrate 12 years clean and sober on Thursday. No, that's Bonnie's birthday. Mine is Tuesday, November 25th.
So it's just an early present.
Early present. There you go. I like your way of thinking. That's how I can tell Bonnie. It's an early present.
Get a weekly thing. A weekly shoe every November. Yep. There you go.
12 years on the 25th of this month, my friend.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. Yeah. But and on feet, we just got this one's clean, plain, simple Jordan 11. It's a low version, 7210. Just nice, man. Got a little bit of the patent leather. I like this one. Like what we got now. We're going to a Hand Up to Victory meeting. Nothing. Don't got to dress anything super nice. A little more low key. Nice pair of shorts. The shirt, simple black and white. But they look really nice. I don't know. It just looks like dressy to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's like just a go-to. Clean, simple. Boom. Look nice. Everybody wins.
There you go.
So what we got going on in the world these days?
We talked about this a couple of episodes ago about how the with Charlie Kirk, and then we talked about the halftime. I don't think we talked about. Yeah, you did talk about it on the new the Bad Bunny thing. Yes. So there was hints online about the Turning Point USA, or there being an alternative. Well, they've actually done it. It is, so it's not going to be instead of, it's going to be on a different channel.
Right.
So it says, Turning Point USA, a conservative organization, announced its plans to produce its own halftime show dubbed the All-American Halftime Show.
Uh-oh. There we go.
This event is positioned as an alternative to the official Super Bowl halftime show featuring Bad Bunny, a popular Puerto Rican artist. The announcement was made on October 9th. The organization describes the halftime show as a celebration of faith, family, and freedom, aiming for to provide a platform for conservative values to contrast to mainstream entertainment. So the details will be coming as to who's going to be headlining.
Interesting.
But there's been, I tried to sort through a lot of social media posts.
Some of that stuff is spam news that they try to throw in our social media
feeds. Names, they haven't named anyone.
Yeah.
They've got plenty of people that are interested, but I could not report anyone 100%.
Right.
I saw things that they were trying to get George Strait.
Classic.
Trump's daughter. Like, there were so many different ones that they were talking about. But
I thought, like Jelly Roll and
yes,
Brandon,
that was
whatever his name is,
Brandon Lake.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about it, and is it bad to have an option?
No.
And
you want to know what I first thought about this? So let's see if you remember it. Of course, my mom would never let me watch it because we weren't allowed to watch anything bad. Remember when Beavis and Butthead did an alternative?
I never got to watch it. I was not allowed. Or The Simpsons. Or The Simpsons. I couldn't even watch The Simpsons.
Do you remember when they were advertising it? So MTV was trying to draw away, and they have the Beavis and Butthead halftime show. And so finally we were at someone else's house where their parents didn't care. So my friend was like, come here, put it on in my room. So I got to run in his room and watch it. But yeah, they had an alternative one on there. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with, and absolutely nothing wrong with any options. Why wouldn't you try to give the Super Bowl a run for their money and see if you can pull all the people to come watch? Because everybody's in front of the TV.
Yes.
So you got a captive audience. So if you can pull them all to your channel to try to show them, hey, we got some people that aren't quite liking this. They want a different alternative.
I've been reading articles that certain NFL team coaches are like, if he's performing, I don't want nothing to do with football. There's been so many opinions and where people standing up for what they believe in. So it's just been interesting to read it all, and I guess we'll see come next year.
I see it. There's also some artists in the past that had a very risque show, you know what I'm saying? So I just don't to be continued on that. I like to do my own research. I don't want it to be like, just because it's not like an American quote unquote person. That's why we're boycotting it.
How many of us are probably going to go back and forth?
To be real with you, I'm going to watch this one, the Turning Points one, but I'm going to go back on YouTube and watch the other one just to see exactly what it. No. We're going to make our TV say that so they see that the ratings switched. So I'll watch that one live, but I'll go back and watch the other one later just to see exactly what occurred. But usually I like it just because like when it was Justin Timberlake or someone, they had some crazy shoes, a crazy pair of shoes for that.
Last year was crazy too. Yeah,
it was interesting.
Yes, definitely interesting.
Yeah. But no, there's options are good. I totally commend that, and I think we should always have a choice on something. If they could do a Christian one, you know what I'm saying? Like every single time. Like I think that's amazing just to show this kind of like this revival trend that's going on here.
Yes, absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, to be continued.
Oh yeah, so stay ready merch.
Yes.
Yep, we got a promo, we got the hats.
And I got my special made.
Man. That's nice, yeah. So we got the High on Jesus on the front.
Yep.
Stay ready on the back.
Stay ready on the back.
It's good stuff, man. If anybody's interested in any of our merch, our website, highonjesus.org. We got shirts, hoodies, beanies, hats, everything you could ever want.
If we don't have the color you want, we can get it.
Join the movement.
Yes.
Let's get right into hand up the victory. So we're just going to be real and transparent. We've had a lot of stuff that has been going on. I'm going to tell you all about what we do, but hand up the victory. If you know us, we have a team of 3 people, and that's not 3 plus me, it's 3 including me. So it's me and 2 other employees that dedicate their heart and soul to what we do, which is the mission of helping others. And so our team has been working overtime with doing everything to keep it running, doing everything to take care of all the clients that call us, in addition to planning and executing a huge, almost 200 people in the room event. Mm-hmm. And so, first of all, thank you to you and Yvonne for everything that you guys have done to make this possible and to make it happen. But instead of trying to recreate make something new and all, we're just going to share with you. That's where our mind has been. That's what we've been focused on. So first, if you would like to join us, we got a link in the description below. It'll take you right to where you can go. You can reserve tickets. We still have a few left. You get your reservation in, and you can be a part of the amazing night that we're going to have. Mm-hmm. But we wanted to just talk about Hand Up the Victory as a whole. Mm-hmm. How did it start? What it is that we do, and maybe just some good stories that me and you have experienced along the way in doing this. So a lot of people ask me, where did I even get the idea, or where did this get birthed from? So I would definitely say the whole thing started, without talking for hours. I definitely feel like I didn't know it at the time, but my last time ever being in jail, captive, not going back in to speak to people, but
captive.
It's the last time I'm out there. I'm ripping and running. I got a warrant. So, they're looking for me again. In fact, they even came one time to where I was. They're pretty good at what they do, because I don't know how they put 2 and 2 together. But they figured out where I was. They had knocked. I hid out. They didn't do anything. We just did the no one was home thing, and they went away eventually. But I don't think I was like a high caliber case. But I knew that I was being looked for. And at some point along the road, not gonna lie to me, I was just so miserable that I was just like, let's just get this over with, man, to be real with you. So I get the warrant served. I'm in jail again. I do my time in there. It wasn't much. I mean, just like a few months, honestly, as long as I've ever been sitting in there. It was a VOP. I think I got there right after the court date was. So then, you have to wait a whole month, and then and then they finally decide what's going on. Anyways, so I truly believe that something inside of me had changed at that point. I had a couple stories I believe I've shared in the past. Just a family friend, their mom, which you considered almost a second mom to me, she passed away while I was in there. I was supposed to go see her. I never did, because I just junkied out every time and didn't show up like I did every time. Really just hit me how selfish that I was this whole entire time and only cared about me. And so I really felt that something had changed on the inside for me. And then when they said, roll it up, it's your time to go, I just remember we had to walk. It was about was it 3/4, half mile of a walk from the jail to the actual front gate in Manatee County Jail.
Now they take you by golf cart.
Yeah, you get the Cadillac, you get the golf cart of shame. I had the walk of shame down there. But just getting down to the end and quickly figuring out that I had no family, no friends, no money, no car, no job, no possessions, really. And no one was coming to save me. I mean, at that point, even my own mom had to have nothing to do with me, because I would just take and ruin other people's lives. And so really I had no choice but to go back to a place where people were actively using. So it was, I guess a friend of mine, but she had, said I could come back or whatever until I figured something out. And so, I just, on paper, for probably 99.9% of people, that's like a guaranteed relapse.
Yep.
I feel, why would it have been a little different for me? Well, one, honestly, I did relapse a little bit after that anyway, so I feel that doesn't count. But I don't know. I just feel like it was the genesis of my story, because I had hit that place where I finally got the gift of desperation. It was the place that I have finally reached out to these people that always tried to help me on my own volition, on my own willingness, asking them to pick me up and take me to a meeting, asking them to meet and talk to me, asking them to bring me to church, whatever it was. I was the one reaching out, initiating, and asking for the help from other people. And then I was the one that was actively looking for a full-time job. They didn't hire convicted felons. It wasn't at that particular job market 12 years ago. I mean, literally it was 40 applications later, no exaggeration, before I finally found a place that would give me a chance. And then I was nervous because suppose they didn't hire you with tats, so the manager said to wear a long sleeve shirt and try to cover it up as much as possible. But I wound up getting the job eventually. I don't know, it was just all those pieces where I realized that this is, an issue here, because there's plenty of people that are coming out and wanting to make that change, but they don't know where to go, or they don't know how they're going to financially get into it. They've burned every bridge. They have no money, no resources. They need help. What are they going to do? Right. So then as my life started to change, fast forward, a couple years, I was just on this mission from God, I felt like, and God had already dropped a High on Jesus recovery meeting idea on me, and just because it felt like it was like super divided. It was either faith-based only, zero, self-help groups is what they called them. The other side says it's all about the 12 steps, nobody name a higher power or God. And I just felt God leading me to like the middle ground for people. Like, it is about the 12 steps because it's a Bible Bible ordained program. But at the same time, we know where our strength and our help comes from, and that's Jesus Christ. So we put the correct higher power with the 12 steps, and we're going to have amazing results from that. So I'm doing the meetings. I'm believing it's going to be a career somehow. I didn't know what it would look like back then. Talking to a church or taking me on. I'm going to speak at jails. I'm going to detoxes. I mean, I'm working 60 hours a week, construction jobs, and I'm going on my own free time to speak and do all this stuff. Needless to say, the marriage wasn't the greatest during all that because I would be so tired, no energy and effort to give her. But still, I thought that was necessary to get where we're at today. When I finally felt like, man, we were getting some traction, like people were wanting to be a part of this in its heyday, man, at the Onico United Methodist Church on a Friday night, we had 120, 130 people up in there, full, buffet dinner that the church people helped, provide for everybody. It was amazing, man. But I over and over again was running into, I'm in the jail, and they're like, yo, Justin, like I get out next week. I need a place to go. What, like, can you help me? What are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do. Like, the halfway houses cost money. The long-term programs, some of them take weeks to get into by the time you do the application and the process, and they wait for the bed or whatever it is. And so I found over and over again, out of the detox, out of a program, out of jail, all these people are wanting to change. And so, like, a couple of them literally, I think one of the ones before I actually like had the breakthrough was like, bro, like, I'm going out to the woods. Like, if you don't provide something for me, I have to go back out on 14th Street. And it's like, how would I ever expect that person to change, or they're just going to go right back to old people, places, and things? It's almost a guaranteed no. And so then I just felt, I don't know, God just put it on me one time, hand up to victory. And so the story comes from Acts 3. So basically, Peter and John, they go to this temple. The gate's called Beautiful, ironically. And there's this guy, he's paralyzed and he needs help. And so there's people in his life that care about him, obviously, because he can't walk. So someone's bringing him from where he's posting up for the night to the gate. So they're trying to do something what they think is good for him. And every day, I guess all of their idea was put this guy in a position so he can get a handout, so he can get a piece of bread, and maybe, I don't know, the Jerusalem Salvation Army, I don't know what they had going back then, but maybe he could lay his head down for the night, and then the next day people would have to go get him and carry him back so he can get another handout. And so that's what he was accustomed to looking for, was a handout every single day just to get by. And so on this particular day, Peter and John, he goes to him, hey, you guys got anything? I need a handout. And he was like, hey, what I have is silver and gold. I don't got none of that. I'm not going to be able to help you out. But what I do have, I'm going to give you. And that's in the name of Jesus. It's time for you to rise up. And the Bible says he picked him up by the right hand and picked him up. And the man was healed because of it. And so, I don't know, that's just where it was biblically based from. And so that just always stuck to me. That's like, and I feel like it's true. When I say this, this isn't a knock on like anyone else's organization or people that feed the hungry 365 days a year. If that's your calling and you feel that's what God called you to, that's awesome. But in my mind, I got to ask myself, like, are we really helping the person? Or are we just keeping them trapped where they're at over and over again by giving them a constant handout? I just feel like that hand up in so many ways was the real answer to give the man Jesus Christ, to give him a hand up out of his spiritual bankruptcy, to lift him up and give him a solution to his problem. And what I assume for back then and what we do now is to lift them up and give them a hand up out of their situation, make them a self-sustaining member of society again, and help them to contribute and to move forward with their lives also. Amen. So that's where it was, biblically based from. And I just seen the need of people. So what are we going to do? We need to get people with a roof over their heads first and foremost. So that's the problem that we need to fix. We got this hole in the community. A couple other people do something similar, but I mean, it could take a week before they figure it out. And by then they're already back out on the street, relapse, and it's null and it's over with anyways. You're not going to see them again. So we got to act quick and we got to get people with a roof over their head. So the first thing Hand Up to Victory does is we assess the situation. Fast forward to where we're at today with it, right? We assess their situation. They put an application in, and then we have a phone interview with them. That's what Austyn does. She handles all the intakes for us. And so we have an interview. 95% of the people that we help with a sober living house option. So another thing, people always, so to this day, even clients that we help or other people think, hey, can I get into your house? And I say, we don't have a house. Right. Because. I
mean, you do. They can come stay with you if you want.
No, I'm good. Thanks. I love them, but we're going to help them. That's my family's sanctuary. The sober living house, I had thought about that when like God was helping me put the whole thing together. Number one, I knew if we had a house, I know what goes into them. It's 24/7, 365 monitoring. That would just be another huge plate that obviously none of us, could handle. But two, most importantly, is if we only had one or two houses, we would always have a glass ceiling, and there'd be no way that we could help out the huge need that exists and all the people that constantly called us with one or two houses. So then God put it on me, and we've kind of learned this over time. We have decided to partner with the best well-ran sober living recovery homes in Manatee and Sarasota County. So the ones that enforce the rules, that they have things that need to be adhered to, right? And so now through doing that, we have access to hundreds of beds. So I think that's a huge deal what we do. So we never have to tell someone no, unless it's a financial barrier. We never have to be like, hey, everything's full. So we have a solution. So now we have a place for clients to go that's safe, and that's a way to start their recovery journey. So we got the bed parts taken care of. Next, we had to assess the material necessities needs. Right. And we had to decide what wraparound services are we going to offer, which has changed over time through trial and error. So we'll just go to what we do now. Well, first, people need to get fed. So if the average person comes in having absolutely nothing, no money, they need food. So we have access to our food pantry at our weekly High on Jesus recovery meetings. So they can come, get a couple bags of food, a whole bunch of different things that they could possibly need. Hygiene bags. We know that people are probably not looking their best at that particular moment. They probably have nothing with them because it's stolen or lost, whatever it is. So we have bags of hygiene for male and female. That could be everything you need as a starter set to look nice and presentable, right? And then also clothing is another one. So we have partnered with a local thrift store, St. Vincent de Paul thrift store. And so they put a little bit towards it. We cover the rest, and it gives someone a $50 gift card, right, to go to St. Vincent de Paul. And some people say, well, why can't you just take donations and give people clothes that way? Number one, we still need an office that gives us a large home base. So we have somewhere for storage. So we have a couple places that we're at right now we'll get into, but we really don't have a place that we can call, to store a bunch of stuff to bring people into, etc. But
and the countless hours that would take of organizing.
But not to mention, but then also a lot of times we get donations that maybe it's someone's grandfather had passed and we're talking a 30, 40-year-old person. They're probably not going to wear that stuff. Yes. So we're like, hey, what should we do? Let's just get them into the place and they can pick out their own clothes. Something they would wear, something that fits them. Why? So they feel good about themselves, right?
To go get that job
like
to do.
You feel sheepish because it's, this is something I would never wear. We want people to look good, to feel good, to start to feel good about themselves as they start this transformation, because we spent long enough down on ourselves and just not looking our best, right? And so we want to change that. Just want to take a minute here and give a huge shout out to our business sponsors, Automatic Bail Bonds. We bail your tail out of jail with a quickness. A big shout out to them for being a huge supporter of what we do here. If you, your loved one, anyone, we don't wish it on you, but if someone does go to jail, Autumn and her team, they actually care about the people that they help to bail out. So please use them. They're a huge asset in this community. Journey to Greatness Sober Living Homes, preparing you for your new journey of life and beyond. They have a multiple men's and women's homes in Manatee County. And so if you're looking for a sober living house, or maybe your loved one, someone that get in contact with them. All the links are below in our comments, guys. Also, Florida Elite Monitoring. They do ankle monitors and also alcohol level tracking with confidence. So maybe they're court-ordered to get an ankle monitor, or maybe they voluntarily want to be able to show the judge, hey, I'm not drinking, I'm not doing anything like that. They have all kinds of neat ways that they can help you out with some things. And then Dump Dynasty. You give them a call, they will pull up the trailer to your house. You can clean out your garage, remodel, whatever it is, fill that dumpster up, and then they take it away for you. No hassle on your end. So those are 4 different business sponsors and just businesses in the community that care and they want to make a difference. Next is, we know people need now an ID, and the biggest barrier is a social security card. So since a lot of these changes that have been going on lately, we have seen that every single job is requiring some form of proof of the social security. Some will accept the receipt once you finally make the appointment at the Social Security office that they give you in hand. Some say, no, we have to wait until the card gets mailed to you even after that. So to be real, we're seeing 2 weeks almost just to even get the appointment at the Social Security card office, and then another 10 to 14 business days to get that card in hand. So you're talking in some scenarios 3 to 4 weeks before a Social Security card even comes to be able to allow them to get a full-time job, which is the ultimate goal. Right. So that's another hindrance we're thinking about in the future. At some point, we're believing God's going to open the door for more funding that we can help that person until that day comes. And then also an ID. So we have a way to get them a voucher where they can go to the DMV and they can get a replacement ID. So that's amazing. We got all those boxes checked. And next, we got to help people to get a job. So in this day and age, most everything is done online app that needs to be filled out, phone number that needs to be put in so you can get a call back from that particular job, right? And so we found the best way is to help someone with a cell phone, put a cell phone in their hands. It's got a month worth of minutes on there, so they're able to put in all those apps, right? And then they're able to get a call back to be able to start a job. And then in addition to that, going off on a mouthful here, but in addition to that, the job placements is huge too. So we have pretty much a compiled list of places that to some certain extents more than others, but they will work with convicted felons depending on what the crimes are. Yes. And we have a few businesses and working on a few more that they know what we do and they're partnered with us. Hey, if we have a spot and we need someone, we're going to give any able-bodied person a shot.
Amen.
So that's huge, to be able to get someone a job as quickly and as smoothly as possible.
Yes.
So that right there, we believe that is the total package that checks off every box of what a human being could need to change their life and to do something differently, right? So those are, we'll say that kind of covers the first couple of weeks of our services and our help to get people started. With
the peer support.
Correct.
Yes.
And then next, in addition to that, we have the peer-to-peer support, which is huge. So, I'll just unpack it all and then you can talk more to it. But the countless hours that you spend on the phone, that Yvonne spends picking up people and taking them places and getting them to meetings and being there for them. I mean, I get phone calls and texts all day long of guys reaching out, especially the ones that we help here recently that are really progressing and doing well. They need help. They need somebody to talk to, right? So we kind of navigate the different struggles, the feelings, emotions that they're experiencing, right, as they're starting out to change their lives. And then also our weekly High on Jesus recovery group meetings. So now we have a place to journey alongside of you. You're not doing this on your own and here's all this stuff in a couple weeks and see you later. Hope everything works out for you. But you have the opportunity to kind of join our family and walk alongside us, and we will do anything we can in our power to continue to help you past that 2-week mark. And again, we just feel like all those things put together are what is going to give someone the best chance of success. And as a result of it, so first of all, we helped out over 1,000 people since we've been doing this in 2017 is when we started it. And just the countless stories of people that, man, it was just what I needed in that moment when I needed it the most. And now they have gone on to secure great careers. They're become leadership roles in the community and leadership positions at their sober living houses. They are doing things to be able to get their kids back in their life. We've seen families restored through this. We've seen people get licenses back, vehicles back. We've seen people finally come to the point where they can move on to their own housing. And just when you see the light switch on in people, like obviously it's happening for Austyn because she's in tears right now. But what are you thinking right now?
Well, as you were navigating, like just talking about like the people that are in jail, like I was thinking about the first time that I heard of Hand Up to Victory. My first time around clean, I came to one High on Jesus meeting way back when at Onico. But that was my only experience. And obviously I, because we met in Manatee County Jail, I went back out. But a previous employee with Hand Up to Victory was sharing her story in the jail, and I knew that I, just like you, had tapped my mom out. She was done. She had given me to God because she was literally done with me. Yeah. I was probably, I think it was like, I was on my second month in jail, and I got a business card. Somebody said, "Oh, Justin and or somebody else from Hand Up to Victory is coming in," and I can't remember what you spoke about that day, but I felt like I literally got a hand up that day because I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I couldn't go back home to my mom. She was, she wasn't having me. My kids were with their dads. I knew that I couldn't go back to my previous roommate's house because it was a completely toxic, and I was just going to get back on that wheel. So I was like, I can do this. I was, 41 years old, and here I am with nothing. I didn't have my driver's license was suspended. I didn't have my kids in my life. I was talking to them through a jail phone. It had started. Like God had turned that little light on, and I was beginning to come out of it. I was talking to my mom every day. So I called her and I was like, hey, I can do this on my own, and she was like, well, good. We'll see what happens when you get out. Like she was like, okay. I made the call, and they were like, oh, you got to call back closer to, because I had no idea when I was going to get out. That's right. So I got the call from drug court that they were going to allow me to come back in for my second round. And I called the line, and they placed me in a sober living home. My mom picked me up from jail, drove me right there. I did the intake through the phone, with the intake coordinator, and that independence like immediately came back to me, because it's like, I had a ride. Yes, I was living in another house, but like I made the call. Like I had the willingness on this end of it. And, I was one of the lucky ones. I was working at Pig Out. They supported me through the 80 days in jail, and allowed me to come back part-time.
That's nice.
They had to hire somebody because I worked like 60 hours a week. So once another employee stepped out, I was able to go back to work full-time. So I was blessed in that aspect. But after my first month there, I was asked to step in as manager because I just hit the ground, running, and I loved it. My kids slowly but surely were coming back in my life.
That's nice.
Every week at High on Jesus, I got to share and build relationships with women like-minded who had been through the same thing as I had. I think one of the greatest things is that 4 women that I was in jail with, who I never would have met anywhere else, were in the same home, and we're still good friends today. So I just,
that's cool.
Just you talking about it made me walk right through it like it was yesterday. Just getting to hear the phone calls that come in are just inspiring on a daily basis, that people want to do something different, and they pick up the phone, as heavy as it might be some days.
For sure.
So, yeah.
So though, that's also, as probably picked up from that, Austyn, we were able to help her when she was in her darkest moment, and now she's working for us and doing an amazing job, I might add, and just helped us out in so many different ways. And yeah, I mean, so to be real, I don't have near as much of the client contact, as I once did.
You can have it if you want someday.
You're pretty much the forefront of it. What are you getting from the phones? Like, what are you like? You have like one or two like of the most like heartfelt stories, or just like the ones where it's like, oh wow, like
I guess they're kind of some of my favorites. James and Michelle, we talk about them a lot. James, I met in drug court. He wasn't per se a client of Hand Up to Victory, but he is a direct friend and consistent someone that comes to HOJ every single week. And he called and was like, hey, he kept calling her my best friend, and it just and he's like, she needs help, she's not in a good spot, and she's gonna call me. Well, she ended up calling, and you could hear in her phone that she had a plan, but she wasn't sure about the plan. And she's like, I think I'm okay to stay at this one place, but I'm going to call you if it doesn't work out. Sure enough, she called back, and we immediately, it didn't. When you go in a place with unrealistic expectations, like, yes, you're going to live here for free, but you have to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And the X, Y, and Z isn't exactly what you signed up for.
There's always something that comes along with a situation like that. So
she called, and she was like, I'm ready to go. We got her in like that day or the next. And she too just hit the ground running and was just hungry. And that was, I want to say almost a year ago. She just got her 1 year on October 1st. So it was, she was already clean when she went in the house. But just hearing that when she called that day, and then she showed up for the intake, and then that week finally meeting her, face to face. So there's so many people that I talk to and that I never get to meet. Right. So, and I'm pretty busy with 4 kids and stuff. So I've got this thing now, like I try to just go to some of the sober living homes that we partner with, whether it be men or women, and just try to like put face to the names, because, I talk to them at the intake, and then I talk to them again throughout the first week, depending on what services they need. And then I talk to them the second week to check in and see how things are going, see if they need any resources or how it's going for the second week of funding or second payment of funding. But just to watch the bloom and just that, like the hunger that she had or has, I guess. I don't know. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And to know that they don't want the same thing that they've always had,
Yep.
And then I guess Tony would be my other my other story. You know, you met Tony at the same time I did.
Yeah, so this one was a team effort. So I'll probably pause it right there for a sec. So, you know, one thing that we need is a case manager at this point, probably too, that does what you just described, is able to make the face-to-face contact with every single client to, you know, help them walk through and navigate even more, you know, things, the situations that are going on, make sure they're connected with all the resources that we or other people have to possibly offer them. And so that's part of our future plan, is to get one or two more people on staff besides us running around like crazy. But it's coming.
Yes,
it's coming one day.
Yes, it is.
And so that would be extremely helpful to put a face with the name on some of these. And some of these people just, we are case managers, everything that we do. And so in a certain way, all of us work overtime, and sometimes a client takes all of us working in tandem to be able to help them out. So Tony, I just, you know, Sarah, my part in how we met him, then you can take over. But so Tony was a dual diagnosis, sweetest guy you've ever met in your entire life. And so he was in a local inpatient recovery center. And at some point it was his time to be able to go and graduate. And the tester was like, can he take care of himself enough to be in a sober living home, get a job, and continue forward with his life. So we put him in there. We gave him the tools. The house helped him out. And bless his heart, man, he was doing the best that he possibly could. But we quickly learned that he needed extra. And we have many clients that need extra, meaning we really literally have to hold their hand through the entire process for various reasons. Maybe it's a mental capacity thing. Maybe it's just they've never lived a life like that. We see some of the females are so used to, you know, getting whatever that they need in life. They've never worked a full-time job, you know, whatever it is, and helping people extra, like, hey, here's how you fill an application out. Now let's go down there together. Let's try to talk to the hiring manager. Let's check back in with them. Here's how you dress for the interview. You know, that type of thing. We can go on and on. But we worked overtime. So I know we were both trying to get him jobs at multiple locations. You had even gone and picked him up and taken him to some places. We were soliciting funding from other organizations on his behalf because, again, God bless his heart, I don't think that he could have, he probably just didn't have the knowledge to understand all that he needed to do to make all this stuff happen. And so we did it, man. We worked really, really hard, and I'd love for you to share what all you put into it and what ultimately happened for Tony.
Yes, so we met him at this recovery center. We had built a relationship with them, and specifically, and they called and said, we just don't know where he's going to go. Some people have families. Some people have the ability to call around and find a place. Tony was not one of those.
Right.
So he was about to celebrate his birthday. I was supposed to actually get him in the day before. They decided they wanted to throw him a big party. So he moved his intake date a couple of days later, had his little birthday, but he showed up to the house, came to High on Jesus that night, and is just one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. He had an ID. We knew that he needed a social. We knew that he needed clothing and all the things that go along with it. So we connected Tony with a cell phone. I don't know. I talked to him literally every single day. And with our new office, for Hand Up to Victory, his halfway house is right down the street. So I made it kind of like part of my route during the day to go in and check on him. But we quickly figured out that the dual diagnosis was it was different than our normal, streamline of clients. So after a few weeks, we noticed, he was like, I got the job at whatever this restaurant is. So I was like, do I have your permission to call and follow up just to see what we needed? Well, it wasn't exactly the story, Right. He needed to confirm with this location or that, and he just did not have the mental capacity to do so. So he actually signed a waiver for me to speak on his behalf on several places. but every time we would almost get it, it was like we missed something.
Another hindrance.
Yes.
So it basically came to the point. So in the background, when someone gets to this point, the sober living house will work with someone as far as their fees, but they do keep racking up, and they can only, once we're talking into $500, $600, $700 plus range, there's only so far that they can go with allowing someone to get behind, even though they want to help them. So basically, where we were at in the story was finally Tony was going to be, unfortunately, asked to leave. And honestly, I said this to the house. I said it to the team. My true belief is this poor guy, if he would have been asked to leave, I felt like this was his one shot in life, and he would have been like homeless the rest of his life and just never been able to make a comeback from that. So what did you find for him?
So we, Yvonne and I actually went over to speak with him, and I prayed about it, how I was going to just tell him. I'd built such a rapport with him. I didn't know how to say, hey, bro, you got to go somewhere else. So I called around to multiple recovery centers. And first and foremost, I knew that his medication needed to be kind of regulated. So I contacted a place in Sarasota. They said, can you bring him for an intake? I went and I said, Tony, you have this great opportunity. We haven't been able to lock in the job. I really don't want you to be homeless. Are you willing? And he was like, yes, ma'am, whatever you can do. I was like, load up, so we got in the car, went and did the screening process. They accepted him. Throughout that week, I went and visited him, took him some color books and just various things to make him a little bit more comfortable. And his case manager, he signed me as his point of contact. And so throughout the week, she would call and check in, and she's like, are you willing to accept him back into the halfway house? And as hard as it was for me to say no, I said, just, this isn't for him. And I said, I don't think he would I don't think he could use another failure at this point, that's the way it would feel to him. So we found another place closer to his mom. So he actually graduated from that smaller program, was transported to another recovery center. Hand Up to Victory kind of put him together a little care pack. I got him some hygiene in there.
That's so nice.
Went down and, gave him a hug and wished him well, and was sitting home a couple of weeks ago, and all of a sudden I get a friend request, and lo and behold, it's Tony. Next thing you know, I accept it, and he calls me on Messenger, and I could just hear the joy in his voice, and he's reconnected with his mom in Tampa. So and we may have not been able to give him the cookie cutter version of Hand Up to Victory, sober living house, your own place, but to hear that joy and get, it was
a miracle.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I mean, that's what we get to do every day. So,
well, thank you so much for sharing that, because I just wanted to show everyone you worked overtime. You went way above and beyond to help out Tony. We all did in our own way.
Absolutely.
But that's what it comes to. And thank God that we operate. Thank you for all the donors that have gotten us to this point. Thank you, God, for the doors we know are going to open, and
for the sober living houses
at some point. Thank you for the sober living houses that support us. But truly, there's people that we come across that need hours and hours and a lot more work. But we came together and said, if we don't do this, we know what this guy's rest of his life is going to look like. This is our one opportunity to show up for Tony, and you did that, we did that, and his life
he's just heard changed, so many no's, and he finally got a yes.
Exactly. And he's exactly where he needs to be in order for him to thrive and for him to move on. So that right there is just one of many stories that we have of people that really need the services that we have to offer. How this is a huge need in Manatee and Sarasota County. And truth be told, it's nonstop phone calls. I mean, at this point, it's probably 1.5 person's job. We're pushing two people to be able to do it. But
I counted the other day. It was like a Thursday when we usually do our meetings, and some people did call multiple times. But I went back at night 37 times. It rang between the hours of probably 7, not 9, and 5. Yeah. But then the need is so great, and I mean, some of those phone calls, are people just looking for their next step. It may not even be in a sober living house. So that's the great thing too. People call us for just referrals. for jobs. They call us for, for other things to help them navigate their recovery.
And then we don't even have time to talk about the hours of family interventions and family members that we talk to and all the help that we provide to family members who are saying, hey, what do I do with my sick and suffering loved one?
I wish my mom would have known about it.
Yeah.
I know that, plenty of parents out there are looking for that.
Well, I think that was awesome. I hope that gave you some slight idea of what we do and how we do it. Man, if that touched you, if that put on your heart to support us, so we got a link in the description below. You can donate directly to us to help us continue the amazing work that we do. We hope possibly that you can join us at our gala coming up. If there's any seats left on Sunday, November 9th, we got the link for that as well. And again, man, thank you so much for your support, not only on this channel, but in everything that we do. And thank you for sticking with us. This is Justin Time with Justin Hallis.
And Austyn with a Y.
See you next time.
Yep. Hey, y'all, you've heard us talk about our nonprofit Hand Up to Victory. I am here to tell you that it changed my life. I don't know where I would be without it. So below is a link to handuptovictory.org. Please click on that link and go to the donations tab. You may save a life, change a life. And I am living proof. We have our gala coming up in November. We would love it if you could be a business sponsor. If your in-kind donation could be raffled off to also change a life or save a life. So handuptovictory.org. Please donate if you can.